Welcome into the Miners broadcast. Dylan VanderVeen, Landon, Stilz here to bring you some more Miners baseball. It's the Matsu Miners and it is the Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks. On the matchup tonight, the Miners are a red-hot team, winners of their last 7 in a row, but you could argue that the Eagle River Chinooks are the second hottest team in this league right now after starting 0-6. They are winners of 6 of their last 11.
And yeah, this team, as you said, they started the season 0-6. Everyone counted them out, and we had a conversation with the other two broadcasters in case, and he kind of said to us, it's like, we just need to win one. And then they won one against the Miners, and then since then, this team has started to throw together wins. Now 6 of their last 5, standing at 6-11. This team is, even though the record doesn't show it, one of the better teams in the ABL with the way the Bucks have fallen off. Bucks are in at 8-9. The Glacier Pilots are kind of just in the middle of those two with their records. And then you have, obviously, the Miners sitting at 13-5, comfortably in first place.
Yeah, one could wonder if the Chinooks kind of walked away with maybe 1 or 2 of those games to start out their first 6. They lost one game 1-0 against the Glacier Pilots. Another one 9-7 to start off league play against the Anchorage Bucks. Were close again against the Bucks in a 4-1 game. So one could wonder if they walked away with 2 of those games, this would kind of be a different story. But, yeah, I mean, this team has beaten the Miners twice, 2 8-0 leads in both those games that they won, and actually blew both of those games but won both. What do the Miners have to do tonight to walk away with a win?
Well, right now there's quite a few things you got to look at. Cole Marthel-Johnny's on the mound with the start tonight, and Marthel-Johnny, his last start was against this Chinooks team, and he went 6 innings, couple of strikeouts. He did a really good job of finding the zone early in counts and not allowing these Chinooks hitters to get ahead of him. That was something Marthel-Johnny struggled with out of the bullpen earlier on in the season. On the offensive side, you have one of your best bats back in the lineup tonight. Yes, he was not playing in this 7-game stretch, but Elliot Medlock is back. He's leading things off. The offense just needs to keep doing what they're doing. They're keeping pace with opposing pitching and putting balls in play, especially with 2 outs, and just playing good situational baseball. If you follow the formula that has worked over these last 7 games, I can see the success tonight against the Chinooks.
Yeah, obviously the story of the night is Elliot Medlock returning. Missed the last 5 games of the season with that hamstring injury. Was one of the hottest hitters of this team before he went out. Had one game that he was 3 for 6 with 5 RBIs, the highest RBI total by a Miner so far this season against this Eagle River Chinooks team. So it is a good battle. Don't count the Chinooks out of the standings. They are right there with the Bucks and the Glacier Pilots. The Bucks and the Glacier Pilots going at it right now in Anchorage together, and whoever is the winner of that game is in second place tonight. It's the second place bowl over in Anchorage.
Yeah, the Miners and the Glacier Pilots were stuck in that second place bowl for a while, dating back to last week before the Miners kind of went on this 7-game winning streak, looking to make it 8 here tonight against the Chinooks. But this is huge. It'd be the first time that the Bucks would be moved out of playoff contention if they lose tonight against the Glacier Pilots and drop their 5th game straight.
Bucks also on the downfall, losers of 8 of their last 9. Last I checked, they were winning that game. That was probably a couple of innings ago in the game. Chinooks going through their starting lineup right now. The Miners will be next, and we'll be right back on the broadcast for more Miners baseball. It's the Chinooks and Miners when we get back. Welcome back in the Miners broadcast. Dylan VanderVeen and Landon Stilz back in the press box for the Miners. Sorry, Michael Keneally just kind of surprised us in the press box. Elliot Medlock leading things down for the Miners will be his first AB in 5 games back from a hamstring injury. We'll talk about that just a little bit on the broadcast. After that, it will be Carter Eberhard and then Carter Geffrey, the two Carters going in order 2 and 3. Rich Erickson, the 4-hitter, if it gets to that point, which the Miners have been red hot against the Eagle River Chinooks.
Coming to the plate for the Miners, number 12, the second baseman, Elliot Medlock.
5 straight games with the 11-plus hits for this Miners team without the guy standing in the right-hander batter's box in Elliot Medlock.
Yeah, this is a huge piece to get back if you're the Miners. The way Medlock was swinging before he tweaked his hamstring was so important to this lineup, and he's just leaving off right where he left off.
1 pitch, 1 hit for Elliot Medlock as he points to the dugout on his way down to first, brings up Carter Eberhard, the lefty, hitting off the pitcher of Jason Long for the Eagle River Chinooks.
Yeah, Long out of Messiah University, 5'10", 190, right-handed pitcher. Just finished his sophomore year there.
Swinging at the first pitch as well was Eberhard, fouls it away, 0-1. Jason Long so far this summer pitched to a 7.98 ERA for the sophomore. The only one outside to a 1-1. Back in 1-2 count for Carter Eberhard. Jason Long trying to get the first out of the inning. So got Medlock waiting at first. He was leading the league in stolen bases at one point. Kai McGarry is now past him. Don't expect too many stolen bags as Eberhard watches a breaking ball for strike 3. 1 out in the inning, and it brings up the power hitter from Iowa and Carter Geffrey.
Yeah, Carter Geffrey before that off day had 2 homers in 3 days, both at Mulcahy Stadium. Really was seeing the ball well. Got that average back up above 350.
Still with that 481 on base percentage. Still trickling right around 500, which is nuts for the game of baseball and the OBP. As that goes high and a little bit outside, 1-0 to Geffrey.
Geffrey, one of the only hitters in baseball nearing 1,000 OPS plus.
Just 11 points below that 1,000 OPS is it'll land for a strike on the breaking pitch, 1-1. Pitcher in Long's landed a couple in a row. One swinging through strike 2, now to a 1-2 count. Iowa's got to love the production that Carter Geffrey's put up so far in the numbers of the 2025 summer for the Miners. Trying to add another hit with the 1-2. Off the end of his bat, could be 2 over to short and will be just 1. Fielder's choice for Geffrey, 2 away, and it stays with the runner at first, this time with 2 outs. Cornell tried to turn the play over to Jake Mitchell. Couldn't get it in time to Geffrey. It's a good start of the turn, hopping off the mound by Long to get the second out and the lead runner. Riggs Erickson, 386 so far on the year, 456 on the on-base percentage. Trails only Carter Geffrey in the latter stat of on-base percentage. Leads everybody in total average This Miners squad who lead the league in the ABL in pretty much every batting category. Miners have played 3 games in the month of July so far. First 3 days had the day off for 4th of July yesterday. Scored 25 runs while just giving up 9 so far. As that will be a broken bat and land into left field. Erickson only swung through with his handle as the bat went flying behind him. It broke into 2, but it is a single and a dead bat.
I call that more of a shattered bat. That ball didn't just crack. It split in half completely. There's pieces all in the batter's box right now.
At the plate for the Miners, number 16, the third baseman.
Gonna bring up Carson Grount, the other kid who started his career in Iowa, will play in Florida next year at a very highly touted junior college. Jeffrey off of second, Erickson right behind him at first. Taken inside, ball 1. Grout 238 on the average so far this year with a 351 on the OBP. Needs one more RBI, could get it here to get him to double digits in that category. Jake Long, the next offering. 2 tight, 2-1. Hasn't been a great year for the Eagle River Chinooks, who are last right now in the ABL, but have been good their last 11 games. We mentioned 6-5 on the pre-broadcast, but they've been worse in terms of ERA and second worst in terms of runs scored on offense, just trailing the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Just in front of the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, I should say. All 2s on the board. 2-2 coming from Long. 2 tight again, 3-2. Long has walked 9 batters so far on his young summer. And now it will be 10 as Grout will take the walk, load up the bases, and it brings up the other catcher in James McGee, the actual guy doing the catching for the Miners today.
Yeah, all three registered catchers on the roster in the lineup today. McGee, the one actually behind the dish. Geffrey's out in right, and Erickson is the DH.
McGee a little low on the average, but the 325 on base percentage is due to 3 walks and 3 hit by pitches this season so far as well. It's always the catchers that find the hit by pitches, I swear. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just they get hit behind the plate all the time, and then they step in the batter's box and get hit all the time too. Maybe that's because they always are the closest to the batter. Or
yeah, they do.
To the plate. They do
often
usually
see
hug
catchers
the plate,
hug the plate a lot and crowd the batter's box when they are up to bat.
Back pick try at first, not in time. Mitchell was holding up his glove thinking he might have got Grout on the back pick. It was a nice try by Anchors behind the plate.
I think that if this was a 3-base umpire crew or a 3-man crew, that might have been called out. That was a very bang-bang play, especially when you're in the C position. Difficult to see from that angle.
Breaking pitch crosses too high to McGee. No free bags, 2 outs in the inning. Long can win with 1 out and leave the Miners stranded early in the top of the first. Follows with a nice strike right on the outside corner, 2s apiece.
And we've seen over recent games the Miners have been able to score some of their runs early in games, so we'll see if that trend continues here. with James McGee with a chance to blow things open early in this game.
That ball smacked into left field. It lands for a base hit. Erickson's going to hold up at third. Geoffrey scores, and the Miners have scored another first inning run. And it's kind of switched in that category from having slow starts to fast starts for the Miners, as we've gone over that on the broadcast in several games.
Yeah, Dylan, you're exactly right. This team was very much a middle inning team. That's when we saw a lot of their comeback start. We saw them strike out a lot first time and about halfway through the second time through the order. But over this win streak, we've seen the offense start to come alive a lot sooner.
It's Espinoza as everybody moves station to station. Mentioned Geoffrey scored. Erickson over at third. Behind him's Grout, and then McGee, who had the 2-out single. Another 2-out run for the Miners. Ball fouled straight back by Espinoza. The least amount of hits the Miners have had in a game versus Chugiak is 10. They're 3-2 against the Eagle River Chinooks as Espinoza grounds out over to Laidley, and that'll do it for the top of the first. The Miners will strike in Chugiak. It's a 1-0 game. Bottom of the first on its way. Comarthal Johnny on the bump. See his stats to your right. 12 1/3 innings pitched, 1-1 on the win and loss column. His one win came against Chugiak in a 6-1 win back on June 29th. That happened to be his last time he's pitched. Gave up 4 hits and 1 earned run. Worked his way to a 4.38 ERA with the help of that game. Lowered his batting average against him as well to 222. But the 11 Ks to 2 walks as well is quite impressive, especially for this team at some point who like to walk batters early in the season.
Yeah, this team early on, Dylan, as you mentioned, gave up a lot of free bags, whether it was a walk or with a hit by pitch. Marthal Johnny was never one of those guys. He always had a good command of his zone, and we'll see if that trend can continue today. Obviously, you mentioned last start against Chugiak, went 6 strong innings, only giving up 1 run, was the player of the game as well.
Starts with a strike and will match with a ball inside. 1-1 to the leadoff batter in Tauscher, Aiden Tauscher. Right back to Marthal Johnny, and we'll go over to Eberhard. Marthal Johnny makes quick work. Brings up the 2-hitter in Tate Green, the designated hitter today. Highest on the batting average total at 349. has doubled up his hits on Ks, 22 hits, 11 Ks on the season. Goes into right field. They got a guy there in Carter Geffrey who made a diving catch in right field at Herman Brothers Field in the game that he was player of the game. And, you know, we're talking on the broadcast. Landon was kind of begging for one in exhibition play, saying, I just want one catcher to make a diving catch in right field, and he finally got it with Carter Geffrey.
Yeah, and it wasn't just kind of like he fell down. It was a full extension dive, a play that you see a lot of seasoned outfielders make, and they'll tell you it's a difficult play to make. And Geffrey made it look like it was something he did on routine.
One out of play in left territory, out to the hillside. It's a beautiful view in Chugiak, one of the best in baseball. In my opinion, probably the best in baseball. Is the tree line just kind of blocks Pioneer Peak at Herman Brothers
Yeah,
Field.
that tree line wasn't there. And I know it didn't used to be. When we talked with one of the former pitchers, Jeff Gilmore, he mentioned about how those trees used to be so much lower, and the peak just loomed over the field. But now with the trees, it really kind of covers it, which is really unfortunate. But, I mean, here, this is just you have the mountainous hill off to your right, and then you have this little kind of hill where you have some fans sitting and watching. It's just one of the most gorgeous views in baseball, like you said, Dylan.
And not too many fans up on that hill today, but Perdo in a 1-2 count, but is fighting hard to stay alive. It would be Patrick McGlon up next to face Cole Martha Johnny if it got there. His offering is strike three called. 1-2-3 inning for Cole Martha Johnny. 7 innings of work against Chugiak. Those last 7, 1 earned run, and he's starting the way he did in that game. It is a 1-0 game. Top of the second, here we come.
I'm Garrett Bauman. I'm in the transfer portal. Cole Martha Johnny, Sam Houston. I just heard, had a couple buddies play for Matsu last year, so I heard great things, great competition, so just looking forward to compete. Yeah, I mean, it sounded pretty cool. Seemed like a fun place to be, and I need somewhere to play to get seen by some schools, so. Probably juggling. I can juggle, so say that's
Ride a
pretty useless.
unicycle.
You say ride a unicycle?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Probably go with 7 and the Prestige.
Perfect game in Lion King.
Spots are hot. Spots are hot.
If I pitch bad, I shave.
Back on the Miners broadcast, Dylan VanderVeen, Landon Stilz, brought to you by Napa. Thank you for letting us stream these games as the official sponsor for the Matsu Miners broadcast. 0-1 to Lincoln Stevenson, leading things out for the Miners will be Greg Parentoni after that. Nice breaking pitch goes to an 0-2.
Stevenson has had the past couple of days off, working his way back into the lineup here, and it's a really, really good bat to have back in the lineup. Stevenson with 12 RBIs, second on the team, only behind Carter Eberhard.
Slider just misses to a 1-2. When low and outside, next offering, high heater. It was high and tight. Stevenson swings through. It'll be 1 down and bring up Parentoni.
For the Miners, number 17.
Parentoni, a 318 hitter now, average over 300, the 361 on base percentage has raised his OPS over 700 as well. Had himself a second double a couple games ago, 2 extra base hits on his season now. Slight piece misses. Too high to a 2-1 count with the heater. Elliot Medlock would be next after Parentoni. Only the one out in the inning. Parentoni slices one over to second, stopping his lately firing to Mitchell, 2 away, and it brings up Elliot Medlock at the top of the order, second time through now. Three hits for the Miners in the top of the first inning. They plated one run that was Carter Geffrey on a 2-out RBI single by James McGee, the catcher for Kennesaw State. Medlock started the inning with a base hit on his first pitch back from the hamstring injury. Didn't take him long to get right back in the groove of things. Takes a strike to the 0-1. Breaking ball to an 0-2. Broke beautifully, stayed on the outside corner. Over to third, and it is muffed by Patrick McGlon at third base. That will be an E5 as it got in between his legs. Medlock's on for the second time, one via hit, one via air, and it brings up the lefty Carter Eberhard.
Batting for the Miners, number 29, the first baseman, Carter Eberhard.
Always knew Carter Eberhard was going to come through after the exhibition games that he gave us. Started a little slow in his, turned on the heater pretty quickly.
Yeah, Eberhard started out this season batting below 150, and then a couple weeks ago he just strung a 4-for-4 game together, or 2-for-4 game together, gotten that average up to 310, 14 RBIs leading this team.
$11 total hits in the last 5 games for Carter Eberhard. As that ball bounces to the plate.
Elliot Medlock is dancing off of first base with her. I don't expect them to, and I don't expect them as in head coach Jonathan Brunn to send Elliot, but it's something to keep an eye on. He led the league in stolen bases at one point before Kai McGarry took over.
Eberhard over to first, gonna step on the bag, and that'll do it. A 0 in the top of the second, forced by Jake Long. Going to the bottom half, Chugiak looking to get something. Martha Johnny back for his second inning of work, was perfect in that first inning will face the 4-hitter in Patrick McGlon, then Jake Mitchell and Nick Hockemeyer, the Purdue kid, in the 3 spot for this bottom of the second. That's fired into left center field. Stevenson's behind it. But McGlon is on with a base hit on the second pitch of the inning. So it breaks up Maltagiani's no-hitter through 1 inning.
We were keeping track after
Yeah,
the
I guess,
first inning.
why not? I felt it from Cole Maltagiani today. Cole Maltagiani's
Okay,
nickname, we've kind of been trying to give a few guys some nicknames. His nickname, the Stash. He's got a really good stash on the mound.
With the leadoff runner aboard and Nick Hockemeyer going to be one of the batters coming up, it's a name you need to keep an eye on and circle in this lineup if you're the Matsu Miners pitching staff, because Hockemeyer has really punished the Miners pitching staff a lot. Couple of home runs, the only one we've seen to go over the right field wall at Herman Brothers Field, a couple of triples. Hockemeyer is a very, very dangerous left-handed bat.
One and one on its way from Cole Maltagiani. Here it comes. That's hit into right center field. Stevenson's tracking it down. He'll make the catch, sends the runner in McGlon back to first. And the first out of the inning has been recorded for the bottom of the second.
For your Chinooks, number 2, the left fielder, Nick Hockemeyer.
Update from the ABL. One game has gone final. The only other game that's going to be played today is that breaking pitch lands possibly low, maybe a little inside, as the Anchorage Bucks have gotten their 9th win of the season over the Anchorage Glacier Pilots, so they do not relinquish second place so easily to the rivals of the Glacier Pilots in Anchorage. They will now sit a game and a half back of the Bucks.
Yeah, the Glacier Pilots have just been a team that have constantly come up short from jumping into playoff contention. Had 2 second-place games against the Miners, lost both of those, one in blowout fashion, and now losing by 1 run today to your rival in the Bucks, who you split the 4th of July doubleheader. Didn't count for anything towards standings, but it was still a good gauge of your opponent. They won Game 2 yesterday, 8-0.
Hockemeyer off to the left side and foul. Matches the count at 2s apiece to the Purdue product.
And something about Hockemeyer that I've kind of noticed over the past 2 times we see him, you can't let his size fool you. He has a lot of bat speed. We saw it there on that foul ball. He has very quick hands that gets to a fastball or a breaking ball very, very fast.
Landing too high and outside, 3-2. Maltagiani, we mentioned, has hit a couple of batters, only 2 walks so far on the year. Three and 2, Patrick McGlon waiting off of first. Checking the runner. Will reset for Maltagiani. Come out of Sam Houston State. One of 3 players on this team who played ball in the 2025 spring with the Bearcats. Not the record they wanted in the 2025 spring. But all 3 making a lot of development in the ABL, as Maltagiani will walk Hockemeyer, will put him at first and second, 1 away, but the double play ball still in action.
And that's only the 3rd walk of Maltagiani's season. Right now sitting at a 12-3 ratio on the K to walk.
Maltagiani sets, a couple of runners dancing off. High cheese, strike 1. Kevin Ankers so far on the season just a $143 with the 200 on base percentage. Coming with the 0-1. Marthajani fires the ball inside to James McGee. 1-1 now. 4 hits, a couple of walks for the sophomore and Kevin Ankers. Ground ball right back to Marthajani. He'll take the play at 1 after he didn't field it necessarily cleanly, but he will get an out after the slow roller back to him. And now there's 2 away, but second and third with Lately coming up.
And with Hockemeier's speed, even if Marthajani did field that cleanly, it would have been a very difficult play. It's not one that we've seen this Miners infield turn before, but with Hockemeier's speed, it would have been tough to turn to.
Lately, just one of his last 19. Actually, make that one out of your last 23.
It just keeps getting worse for him, doesn't it?
Ball into the left center field gap. Stevenson heading backhand, making the catch. No, he didn't. He dropped it. Popped out of his glove. That ball is down. It'll score 2 runs for the Chinooks and will be a triple for the kid we mentioned. Just one of his last 23 coming through with the announcer's jinx.
I plead the 5th on that, ladies and gentlemen. So, Dylan,
My
how's
bad.
your day? You're bad. I'm the one that said, man, it just keeps getting worse for him, and the next pitch he had an RBI triple off of. I feel like if that one's on anyone, I'll take the blame for that one.
Well, inside, 1-1 on the count. Chinooks playing a little bit of catch-up, but they've done a decent job. Also kind of thanks to the Glacier Pilots and the Bucks really losing to the Miners. We mentioned on a 7-game win streak coming in to tonight.
Yeah, it's really been, yes, the Miners beat up on the Chinooks, but while that's happening, the Bucks and Glacier Pilots are constantly just one of them beats one of them beats the other, and it just keeps going back and forth. And then I totally just took away a strikeout call from you, didn't I?
It's all right. It's all right. Beautiful breaking ball by Cole Marthajani. We're talking about the game. We will step away in this game. 2-1 Chinooks. Geffrey grounds out the first pitch, and first pitch, first out for Carter Geffrey. It'll bring up the DH in Ridge Erickson. Remember, one of the 3 catchers in the lineup with him, James McGee and Carter Geffrey, who just grounded out. Geffrey in right field. McGee doing the actual catching. Erickson 1 for 1 so far today. Takes a ball low on a breaking pitch, 1-0. 3 hits for the Miners so far in this game. All came in the first inning. Too far outside, 2-0. Going to a 3-0 count. Ridge Erickson, in his on-base percentage so good this season. Due to a combination of things, walks one of them as well. Takes a strike to a 3-1. Fouling off, and now it will be a full count. Back-to-back strikes for Jake Long. Now in a battle with Ridge Erickson. Three and two. Swing and a miss. Climbing all the way up the ladder to get Ridge Erickson. And now there's 2 away as Long's looking to have a 1-2-3 inning after his team put up a 2 spot in the bottom of the second.
Yeah, this would be a huge bounce-back inning for Long. He gave up that first inning 1 run. His team responds. Something you always want to pay attention to. It's not a stat that is kept in books, but you want to always look at shutdown innings. How well can your pitcher respond after your team retakes the lead or has a big inning?
One Carson Crowder fouls off the second pitch. 238 so far on the batting average for Carson Crowder. 351 on the on-base percentage. Does have 11 walks, good enough for second on the team just behind Carter Geffrey. So he'll swing through to a 1-2. Long looking to have a clean inning. 1-2, landing outside 2s apiece.
Long thought that was strike 3, was dancing off the mound a little bit, thought he got Grout looking.
Gonna have to deliver at least one more. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Jake Long gets the strikeout, swinging of Carson Grout, his 18th K of the season. We are going to the bottom half of the third. 2-1 game.
I'm Luke Wilson. I went to Johnson University.
I'm Carson Grout. I went to the University of Iowa.
It was recommended to me by my coach, and I had not heard any bad things about Alaska. I thought it was a good opportunity.
Yeah, same with me. My coach said that they reached out, and I figured it'd be an awesome opportunity. Always wanted to go to Alaska, so it'll be fun.
I know the script to Monsters, Inc., and there's just really never been a time to whip that out.
I can drive a manual, but there's like no manual vehicles anymore, so it feels pretty useless.
To memory, I've never caught a fish, so I like to catch fish.
I can hop in.
Yeah, I think you should hop in.
Definitely want to go on a hike. Definitely want to fish. And then probably see a bear. I hope I see a bear.
Oh, yeah, I want to see a bear. And then a moose. I want to see a bear and a moose.
I always put my left sock on first.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
Welcome back in the Matsu Miners broadcast. 2-1 game. Dylan VanderVeen, Landon Stilz. And what has been a back-and-forth one so far through 2.5. Marthagiani on the bump for his third inning. He pitched 6 innings, gave up 4 hits of 1-run baseball last time he faced against Chugiak. This time he's given up a couple of early runs after McGlon started the inning with a single to left center. After that, Hockemeyer walked and lately tripled after the runners got to second and third on a deep shot to left center field. That was just his second hit of his last 24 ABs. First offering of the bottom of the third. Breaking pitch lands too far out, 1-0. Swinging through to a 1-1.
Kind of us.
Two and one count. Comarthal Johnny. Too far downstairs, 3-1. Three and one to a 3-2. Tauscher thought he was walking on a 5-pitch walk, but he's going to have to wait one more to walk, or whatever's going to happen for Marthal Johnny. Full count coming. Fouled off to the left side, out of play. Going to pitch number 7 of the AB. Chinooks do have the second best batting average on the team behind the Mat-Su Miners at 292. They're in 251. And they will add to it as Tauscher collects a base hit. No! Stole it away! Lincoln Stevenson came out of nowhere to steal away a base hit.
We've seen Lincoln Stevenson make a few of those plays, or attempt a few of them. Couldn't come up with it a few times, but Stevenson lays out, makes a great play in center field. You just see the range he has as an outfielder.
He came out of nowhere on that play. I'm calling it a base hit as Stevenson's diving for it. Swinging through the first strike. Low and outside is where it ended. Second offering is a heater in there and fouled over to the left side, 0-2. Got the batter and take green in a hole. 0-2 on its way, too high. Good selection for an 0-2 pitch. Trying to raise that eye level to a 1-2. It would be Peridot and then McGlon afterwards. If it got there, McGlon started off that last inning with a single. Breaking pitch on the curve, fouled away. One and two incoming again. Into right center field. This time it will land. Stevenson won't be able to get to this one. They'll get it in quickly, and it'll be a one-out hit with Peridot stepping up. Peridot 0 for 1 so far in the game. Takes a strike on the first offering from Marthal Johnny in the second AB against each other. Peridot Cade, one of Marthal Johnny's 2 Ks were against Peridot. 1-1 count so far. Take green leading off of first. Next offering for Marthal Johnny is fouled away. 1-2. Got him in a hole. 45th pitch incoming from Cole Marthaljani on his outing. Into left field and slicing quickly towards the foul line. Making the play there is Espinoza. And there's 2 away as that ball card has started cutting more and more towards foul territory. And we'll bring up Patrick McGlon, who's 1 for 1 on the game.
Number 24, the third baseman, Patrick McLaughlin.
McGlon, a very qualified hitter. Just trailing Tate Green, who's on base right now in the average with a 340. Doesn't walk much with just 1 total walk on the season. Now a 1-1 count. Pretty big guy is Patrick McGlon. Listed at 6'4", 215 pounds. Not chasing the 0-2 to a 1-2 count. Nice breaking ball in the selection, just not taking the bait was McGlon. Next, our offering from Marthaljani is a swing in the dirt. Chases that breaking ball, though, as McGlon will go down swinging for his 13th K of the summer. Marthaljani, through 3 innings, it's a 2-1 game in favor of the Chinooks. Miners broadcast, Dylan VanderVeen, Landon, Stilz right here to bring you all the Matsu Miners action. Chugiak Eagle River Chinooks leading 2-1 so far over the Miners. Series total is 3-2 in favor of Matsu between these two teams so far in the summer. Couple of crazy roller coaster games are both the wins for the Chinooks, who blew 8-0 leads in both of those games, just for the Miners to come back and spoil it in the 9th. One loss of 12-9, one loss of 10-8. That's 2 of the Miners' 5 losses. So McGee is going to be 2 for 2. He's also collected an RBI, the 1 run of the Miners game, and he puts himself on for Aiden Espinoza to try to come through for the Miners.
Batting for the Miners, number 7, the left fielder, Aiden Espinoza.
Espinoza just 235 so far in his limited time with the Miners. Joined them less than 2 weeks ago. Coming from UCLA. Has fit the mold pretty well. Has made a couple of nice plays in both corners of the outfield. Playing in left field today as Geffrey's in right. Can shift over to right field if needed, if someone like Luke Wilson's playing in left field, or Evan Bilter for that matter.
You know, Espinoza has a lot of range out there in the outfield. Can't even play center field. I talked to head coach Tyler Brennan when he first got here about what Espinoza brings to this team, and he said a lot of it is that defense. We add that lefty bat, and he's a great hitter. But that defense out there in the outfield, the Miners have had great success with it all year, and Espinoza just adds a whole nother level to that.
McGee leading off of first. Next out for Espinoza's fouled off to the left side, going to a 2-2 even count. Chinooks now leading this game with 4 hits to the Miners' 3. As that ball will hit Espinoza, just clipped him, and it will put first and second on for Lincoln Stevenson coming up.
And Lincoln Stevenson is a great hitter to have up when there's an RBI chance. 12 RBIs on the season. We've seen that average climb from just around 200 up to that 269 that you see on your screen now.
4 hitters on this Miners team have a dozen or more RBIs. Eberhard leads with 14. Stevenson has 12, along with Bilter and Erickson. Lays down the bunts, it spins, foul. Would have been good to move the runners to second and third on the sacrifice if it could stay down the line, but it will be a strike one, and he'll have to try the bunt a second time if the run wants to go that direction. The sacrifice is a huge part of the Miners team. Play a lot of small ball, does Matsu. And that will land in for a strike. Stevenson has to reset down 0-2 and do a job to try to get the runners at least to move over. Breaking pitch is sliced out of play to the right side. It's Parentoni after Stevenson. Then it flips to the top with Elliot Medlock, who's 1 for 2. 0-2 on its way from long. Second 0-2 misses upstairs and away. Checking Espinoza as well at first if he gets too far off. Tried it with Carson Grout on a pretty close play on a back pick to first. Tried by Anchors in the first inning. 1-2, hammered into right center field, sending Tauscher back. It's over his head. Here comes McGee. He is going to score. Right behind him's Espinoza. The throw to the plate, not in time. Trying for third and sliding in safely is Stevenson. Clearing the bases and putting himself 90 feet away and changing this game back to the Miners' favor, 3-2.
And I talked about how Stevenson, when he comes up with runners in scoring position, he's just a different kind of batter. Now ties the team lead with Carter Everhard with 14 RBIs on the season.
Now batting for the Miners, number 7, left fielder Aiden Espinoza.
Another base hit into left field this time and scores Stevenson. Parentoni comes through. And there is still no outs in this inning as the bats are coming alive for the Miners. It is 4-2. Five different Miners now have a hit in this game. 6 total. The only one for the Miners is James McGee, who is 2 for 2. Ball lands in there for a strike, top part of the zone. 0-1 to Medlock. The team's done all right for themselves without Medlock in the lineup, but it's good to have him back as you see him drive his second hit of the game. And the Miners' offense just gets a little bit better with Elliot Medlock in the lineup.
Yeah, we talked about even without him in the winning streak, the Miners were able to string together 7 straight wins. Elliot Medlock comes in. He's 2 for 2 today, has reached on an error as well. Just such a huge addition back to your lineup.
Next 2 batters in Eberhard and Geffrey. The Carters are 0 for 4 today. Looking to change that quickly with Parentoni on second. You got Medlock behind him. Eberhard goes for bunt on the first ball, lands outside and low. Be another situational bunt down with first and second to get the runners over. And will foul it off to the left side. Stevenson also tried to lay down the bunt and couldn't do it, but instead drove himself a 2 RBI double into right center field, so probably like that just a little bit better. Eberhard connects with the bunt this time. They'll take the out at first. It will be a sacrifice, second and third, 1 away.
A great job by Eberhard. We've seen this team be really one of the only teams to use that bunt. Small ball has become such a faded aspect of baseball over these past couple of years, but head coach Tyler Brunn insists on keeping it within his bag, and it's worked out in a lot of situations for the Miners.
It's a forgotten value in the game of baseball, as in major leagues, you just do not see the bunt put down at a high rate with any squad. I mean, you got the Atlanta Braves, who in the last couple of seasons have only laid down a couple of sacrifices. Geffrey chops at it, foul to the left side, 0-2. Still 1 out. Need to put a ball more than likely to the right side. Into the middle infielder to score another run. Middle infield is playing back. Runners up on, or corners up on the grass. Swing and a miss by Geffrey. 2 away on a big strikeout for Long. 3 runs have crossed in this inning. 2 RBIs by Stevenson, 1 by Parentoni, and Long wants to end it there and stop the bleeding. Erickson's 1 for 2. Behind him's Carson Grout. Landing for a strike right on the outside corner, top part of the zone, 0-1. Kid from St. George, Utah, was Utah all the way. He talked about his recruiting before on the broadcast and what kind of got him to BYU. Will be a valuable piece for that team as they fight their way in a very competitive Big 12 now. Got Arizona State. Kansas has come off their best season with 43 wins this season. Tons of teams in there, Oklahoma State, Arizona as well. It's on their way up in the Big 12. 2-1 with the runners at second and third. Too far outside, no, that'll call for a strike in there for 2-2. Right at the end of his zone, 2-2, all 2s on the board. Erickson fouls off a pitch right back into his foot. We'll go to pitch number 6. Briggs Erickson, 12 RBIs on the season. Mentioned 1 of 4 with 12 or more RBIs for the Miners, who have scored easily the most runs in this league. Downstairs on the breaking pitch, 3-2. Worked a 7-pitch AB now. Three and two, floats itself in and will get Erickson swinging for the third out. Leaves a couple of runners stranded, but 3 cross for Matsu. It's back to a 2-run lead for the Miners.
Greg Pierantoni, Pomona pitcher.
Colin Muskelly, Long Beach State.
I wanted to enjoy the SoCal weather. That was a big part of it.
I mean, again, SoCal weather, and I'm close to home. I live 15 minutes away. One of my coaches at Long Beach, Tyler Bassetti, he coached here, played here, so he kind of hooked me up with it.
I'd heard good things about it and also wanted a different summer ball experience in Alaska. I got Moneyball and Saving Private Ryan, in no particular order.
American Pie and the first Top Gun. A bear ran through my campsite at Yellowstone when I was camping.
I got lost at Disneyland when I was little. Probably SpongeBob.
Larry the Lobster.
SpongeBob laugh.
It's been a minute since I've watched it, so couldn't really do it for you. Come on.
Miners broadcast sponsored you by Napa. Features Cole Marthel-Johnny coming into his 4th inning worth of work, a 4-2 game. Miners got the lead back for him with a 3-spot in the top of the 4th, thanks to a couple of RBI hits by Lincoln Stevenson and Greg Pierantoni.
And yeah, Long got one of these after the Chinooks plated those 2 runs in the bottom of the second. Marthel-Johnny needs to work a shutdown inning to get his bats back up while they're hot.
3 strikeouts for Marthel-Johnny so far in the game. Ball was fired down the left field line, but fouls. Kind of torched out the bat by the first baseman and Jake Mitchell, who's played at the corners this season, 1st and 3rd for the Chinooks. One and 1 now on the count to Jake Mitchell, who's 0 for 1 today. Over to Eberhard, and that ball spins right by Eberhard. He was tracking it, and the ball just spun straight to his right and in to right field. That looked like a cartoon ball just going right zigzag past him.
Yeah, that baseball just had some spin off the bat. Eberhard was had a great read if that ball had more top spin, but it kind of just had a little bit of spin to the left side, bounced and just right by his glove. There was nothing really Eberhard could do there.
They will give Mitchell a single on that, as they probably should have with the spin was on that ball. I had a lot of English, as it'll be a 1-0 count to Hockemeyer after the breaking ball lands too low. 1-0. Hockemeyer so far in the game 0 for 0 when he walked his first time up. Now finding the breaky pitch for the 1-1. Outside 2-1 now. Missing on the 1-1 count to get ahead. Falls behind. It'll be Kevin Ankers and then Laidley, who came through for the Chinooks last time against Marthel-Johnny. Hockemeyer follows to a 2-2 count. Hockemeyer 275 on the year, going into his junior year at Purdue. Does have a 550 slugging with his couple of homers. 2-2, fouled off again.
The Chinook foul ball sponsored by JR Septic Pumping and Excavating.
Hockemeyer, a dangerous hitter, has hit both of his home runs against the Miners. One of them, the last time they played them, just a few days ago on July 2nd. 2-2 try again. Outside, McGee thought they got him, but it will land out.
Yeah, that pitch just missed a little too far downstairs. McGee couldn't quite frame it, had to reach across his body to bring it back up into the zone.
Now the 3-2 to the Purdue product from the Sam Houston product. Smacked into right field, it'll land. Geffrey hustles to cut it off, and he did a good job of limiting what they could get with Mitchell now over at third. Hockemeyer with the double at second.
And yeah, Hockemeyer just continues to be a plague against the Miners so far this season as the bullpen pitchers start to make their way out there. The timer begins for Cole Marthel-Johnny now with runners at second and third and nobody out in the inning as Steve Hecker wants to have a conversation with him on the mound.
Mitchell just getting that 3-run lead back as the Miners are in the same situation. Cole Marthel-Johnny will talk to Hecker. These games have gone back and forth with the Miners and the Chinooks every single time really that they have played, it seems like. Mentioned those two massive back and forth roller coaster games that the Chinooks won. It's been a crazy season for Eagle River, who, remember, started 0-6, now with 6 wins on the record of their 11 losses. It brings up the catcher and anchors. Anchor's not having quite the season he wants from the plate. This is his 9th game of action as he will take a break pitch too low, 1-0. Anchors has only played against the Miners one time this season, went 0-4 back on July 2nd. Landing first strike, 2-1. Wasn't in the lineup any of the other times that the other 4 matchups in the regular season between the Chinooks and the Miners. 2-1 is in there for a strike, 2's apiece. Went from 2-0 to 2-2. Be a massive strikeout of Marthel-Johnny, can get number 4 of the game.
And it'd be a big first out, especially with 2 runners on, both in scoring position to get a strikeout here.
Check swing, did he go? No, he did not. So you can't see it, and McGee thought they had him out, but he did not check swing it, and it's 3-2. Or maybe an extra word from the Miners dugout on that one, but it will go to a 3-2 pitch. Marthel-Johnny finally on the same page with McGee. 3-2 payoff. Swing and a miss. Marthel-Johnny gets K number 4, and it's a big out for the Miners.
Yeah, it's a big first out. It's not only a nice little strikeout to add to Marthel-Johnny's line, but it's a nice get your confidence back pitch after giving up 2 base hits, 1 extra base hit. Now you have runners at second and third. You're feeling a little more comfortable on the mound.
Keaton Laley steps in, and the 2 on the board in the bottom of the second was due to Laley. getting the extra base hit, as that'll be floated past the glove of Marthel-Johnny, trying to flip forward his Medlock, and at least making the play. Really good effort from Medlock after it tipped off the glove of Marthel-Johnny, trying to get the high skipper off the mound.
Well, if we had any doubts about the hamstring of Medlock, they can just go away. That was a great start and stopping play for Medlock. That was something that he was having issues with down the stretch. Just a beautiful play at second to get that second out, only allow just one run to score.
It is a 4-3 game. Getting back-to-back outs now is Cole Marthel-Johnny, as that will land too low downstairs. 1-0 on the start. It's Trent Cornell hitting at the bottom of the order before it switches off to Tauscher. Cornell 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging against Marthel-Johnny.
Garrett Bauman's warming up in the pen right now for the Miners in this 4-3 ball game.
Cornell, 243 average hitter, in now his 14 games worth of action. Kind of a check swing for the strike. It's going to be the second strike of the AB as Marthel-Johnny will try to close it out here and strand that last runner in Hockemeyer at third. Breaking ball called, strike 3. That'll do it. Cole Marthel-Johnny, strikeout number 5, and we will go to the 5th. It's a 4-3 game. Miners leading by 1. Carson Grount leading things out for the Miners in the top of the 5th. Jake Long still working for the Chugiak Chinooks. Grount hitting in the 5 spot. It's James McGee who is 2 for 2 in this game as Grount grounds out, rolls over to second, and Laley makes the play. 1 away, just a couple of pitches for Long in the inning. McGee's come through with a base hit RBI and another one into left field as well. 2 for 2 day.
At the plate for the Miners, number 20, the catcher, Joe McGee.
Swinging through the first pitch, 0-1. McGee now 6 total RBIs on his season. That'll go low, 1 apiece. Back to the heater, right past Jarvis at third. He had to skip out of the way. He'll go to a 1-2 after it was smoked down the line. Martel Johnny is through 4 innings pitched for the Miners. He's pitched 71 total pitches as the work continues in the bullpen. We'll wait to see if we see the stash for inning 5.
It's growing on me.
Yeah, it should be growing on you because it's a good stash. Too low. Full count now to 3-2. Long right now at 88 pitches, or this will be his 88th in the game. Into center field, right underneath it, not having to move was Peridot, and there will be 2 away after kind of a long AB by McGee, and we'll bring up Aiden Espinoza. More than likely will be it for Jason Long after this inning as he will enter into 90 pitches. If he pitches 2 pitches to Espinoza, and he will. 57 of them have been strikes out of the 89. Long's been efficient, but has given up 4 runs on 7 hits, struck out 6. Espinoza will collect hit number 8 off of Jason Long and will keep the inning going with 2 outs, as that is the 3rd hit with 2 outs on the board for the Miners in this game.
Yeah, the Miners are always one of those teams that we talk about. 2 outs doesn't mean they're going down easily. These 2-out innings where the Miners get some of those base hits. With 2 outs, they're 3 for 8 today.
5 of 11 with runners on today are the Miners. Stevenson taken outside. Made up for a couple of bunts that didn't get laid down correctly by Stevenson to move the runners over, and instead laced a double into right center field to score both runs. Two-one on the count to the Central Missouri Mule. 2 inside. Hitters count now for Stevenson. Looking to get on for the 2nd time today. Scorched in off of the glove of the second baseman in Laidley. It was absolutely scorched, however. So it will put 1st and 2nd on now and don't go anywhere in this inning quite yet. It's Greg Parentoni and still 2 outs where the Miners are their best.
Batting for the Miners, number 17, the shortstop, Greg Parentoni.
Do you need a water?
One outside, back pick try, just gets it is Jake Mitchell as it almost got past. Would have been pretty disastrous for the Chinooks if that ball got away. Ball is scorched up the middle. Parentoni comes through. Going around is Espinoza, and he is gonna score. It was a close play with no slide by Espinoza, but it makes it a 5-3 game as Parentoni comes through again.
Yeah, this bottom of the lineup today for the Miners with Parentoni and Stevenson really been coming through, each with 2 RBIs, each now 2 for 3 as well.
Brings up Elliot Medlock, who is also 2 for 3. And I think that is going to do it for Jake Long. It will. Good performance for him, but he gives up 5. They're going to the pen when we come back. Well, it's Kindrick on the bump for the Chinooks. The Miners have seen him plenty. 3 out of his last 4 appearances have been against Matsu. He's pitched a total of 5 1/3. If that's correct, 6 1/3 actually. This is why I'm a journalism major. I can't do numbers, man, sometimes.
Like, it's hard, but it's not that hard.
Yeah,
dude.
I know. But it was the 2, the 2/3.
You're using it as an excuse a little too much.
Yeah, maybe sometimes. Seems like the Miners have got to Kindrick a little bit more each time he's pitched against them, as Medlock swings for the fences and comes up empty 1-1. Last time he faced off against them was on that July 2nd game that the Miners won 11-4. Gave up 6 hits, 3 earned runs in his 2 2/3. One and 1 to Medlock, swinging through and pitch a little bit too far outside of his body.
But Medlock's one of those hitters there, when he's in a 1-2 count, he doesn't necessarily give up. We've seen him have a lot of competitive ABs and get some hits in these 1-2 counts. He's very much in on every pitch.
1-2, couple of runners still on. Stevenson and Parentoni with 2 outs. The 1-2. Into left center field. Chasing it back is Hockemeyer towards the warning track and making the catch there. Medlock just not enough on it to possibly get it over. It is a 5-3 game going to the bottom of the 5th. Miners get one more. Back on the Miners broadcast, it is Aiden Tauscher at the top of the lineup that's going to lead things out for the Chugiak Chinooks, who are trying to get back from the 5-3 deficit so far, just in the bottom of the 5th. Plenty of game left to be played. Comortojani coming on for a 5th inning worth of work, more than likely his last, as he's now at 72 pitches in his outing. Looks like you've got Garrett Bauman warming in the pen, as that'll go for a strike, 1-1. They're just outside, 2-1 now. If it did go from Marthajani to Bauman, it would go from Sam Houston State pitcher to Sam Houston State pitcher in the 2025 spring. Garrett Bauman now at Angelo State, new commits a few weeks ago. 2-1 to a 2-2 as Tauscher fouls off a pitch to the left side. The 2-2 offering is over to the right side, just down the line, and fielded by Eberhard, who steps on the bag. There will be one away as Marthajani looks to pitch through a clean last inning.
Yeah, Marthel-Johnny can get through this inning. He's set up for win number 2 on the year. And then with just a great pitcher like Garrett Bauman coming in, it's a really good 1-2 punch if you're the Miners.
Usually you see Bauman come in a little bit later in the games, 8th and 9th inning of play. More of a closer-style pitcher for this team so far. 1-0 start to the hitter in Tate Green. Tate Green 1 for 2 today from the DH spots. So they're working through their third time through the order now. 5 total hits compared to the 10 for the Miners. Another game where they have double-digit hits against the Chinooks. That is the 6th time in 6 games against Eagle River. Parentoni, off-balance throw, and it's easy for Greg Parentoni.
There's only so much we can say at this point when Greg Parentoni makes a more difficult play look extremely easy. He's just that good of a shortstop.
Batting for the Chinooks, number 6 is center fielder Isaiah Peridot.
Peridot now stepping in 0 for 2 with a strikeout looking today. Popped out this other time up. Peridot plays in center for this Chinooks team, is pretty much always played in center. Came in at 278 on the year, or on the summer rather, I should say. Does have 9 stolen bags. Leads his team by more than double anybody else. Quick guy if he can get on. 2-0. 3-0 now. And that'll be a 4-pitch walk issued by Marthel-Johnny. A little bit more of a rare person who doesn't walk a lot of guys, but that will be walk number 2 issued by Cole Marthel-Johnny of the game, as the other one went to the batter in Nick Heikemeyer. Sorry, I thought I was going to find it quicker than that. My bad.
And 2 walks isn't nothing to bat your eyes at, especially with how this Miners pitching staff was earlier on in the season. But for Marthel-Johnny, 2 walks, only had 2 walks coming in today, already doubled that total. That is something to look at, especially if you're pitching coach Steve Hecker, about what was going wrong. Was his release point a little off, or was he just missing some of his spots?
And 2 walks in 5 innings of pitch. Can't really complain too much about that, as that's off to the right side of play. It's falling quickly, chasing for it. Espinoza, and did he make the catch? He did. Oh, no, that's Giffrey in right field. My goodness, Giffrey covered all of that ground shockingly in right field. Okay, to stick him in right, no longer needs the catch. Stick him in right field. I thought that was Espinoza with how much ground he covered, and it'll stay a 5-3 game. Carter Eberhard now, 5-3 game. Carter Jeffrey's going to listen to that call probably in the van right on the way back. And
I hope he points and laughs at you.
Oh, I'm going to tell him before he even listens to it. But, yeah, he's going to have a little bit decent of a laugh. But, yeah, the way he was trucking on that play, it made me think he was a full-blown outfielder rather than a catcher by name. And it will bring up Carter Jeffrey, who will try to do more damage from the plate as Eberhard gets on. So far in this game, Carter Jeffrey is 0 for 3. Got on via fielder's choice, his only time on, and did score a run. That lone run in the top of the first was scored by Jeffrey. Eberhard off of first. Delivery from Kindrick in his first full inning of work. Came into relief for Jake Long last inning. Jeffrey down the line in left field, and it lands. Hockemeyer tracks it, and Jeffrey will end up on second with a double. It is now 2 runners in scoring position in the minors in contention to score more runs and add on to the lead that already stands at 5-3.
And you got a great hitter in Ridge Erickson coming up, especially with nobody out. He puts the ball in play so much. 1 for 3 today. Came in today batting .386. So there's a conversation on the mound between the catcher and the pitcher in Kindrick on how they want to attack the dangerous hitter in Erickson with nobody out.
Tucking to the catcher, and Kindrick has to go out there and get the catcher and anchors. And it looks like the coach will come out and talk him. That could be it. He's going to point to the pen. New pitcher coming out for the Eagle River Chinooks. Ridge Erickson leading things off versus this new pitcher in Cantalupo, who you've seen his name quite a few times on this broadcast. Has pitched now in 4 of the 6 games against the Miners. Has had a couple of decent outings, but 2 are a total of 4 innings pitched in those 3 outings. Didn't get a recorded out the first time he pitched against the Miners in conference play. The last couple of times, couple of innings pitched, he's given up 2 earned runs over those 4 innings against the Miners. Oh, 1 start to Erickson. Got runners at second, third, and Eberhardt and Jeffries. Erickson's into right center field, chasing it back in, making the catch is Peridot. It will be a sac fly at least, as Jeffrey will stay put at third. Eberhardt comes home. Erickson comes through situationally.
That was a great catch by Peridot out in center field, taking him back, making a great leaping grab. But the more important part of that out is how quickly he got back up in time to get that throw. And we've seen Jeffrey score from second on a sac fly to center field from Ridge Erickson before. It was a great throw by Peridot to keep Jeffrey over there at third.
It was on this field that happened as well, as Carson Grout takes a ball outside. Still over the .350 on base percentage for Grout on the season. His Iowa teammate last year in Jeffrey waiting off of third. It's James McGee, who's been hot today, waiting on deck. 1 out in a 6-3 game. Grouts into right field. He scores Jeffrey, and James McGee will come up now as the runs keep trickling in. It's 7-3. 13 total hits now for the Miners as well.
Yeah, the Miners are averaging about 11.5 hits against this Chinooks team so far this season. Have never had less than double digits against the opposing pitching staff.
Opposing pitching staff for the Chinooks worst in total ERA by nearly a whole point. As McGee swings through into the glove. The 0-1 after the swing and the miss into the mitt. Into right field. The hit and run works out. Grout's on his way to third will get there easily. And the runners at the corners with 1 out as they have gotten to Cantalupo, who the Miners have just maybe seen 1 too many times so far this summer.
Yeah, you mentioned earlier how many times he's pitched against this team. The Miners have really seen his stuff, and it's showing here.
At the plate for the Miners, number 7, left fielder Aiden Espinoza.
Espinoza, a chance to come through. 1 for 2 so far, getting his 4th AB of the game. Sky high, shallow center field. Underneath it now is Cornell. He'll make the catch. Stutter stepping off of third was Ground, but he had really no chance to go home. It's an empty out with now 2 outs, and Lincoln Stevenson trying to come through.
Lincoln Stevenson and RZ come through a couple of times today. A 2 RBI double. He's 2 for 3 with a couple runs scored and a couple RBIs.
Number 30, the center fielder Lincoln Stevenson.
5 of 11 today with 2 outs. In there for a strike. With runners on, now 10 of 18 are the Miners. They've just been sensational in the hitting aspect of things, blowing every other team out of the water in most statistics. Great block by Anchors to keep the spinning breaking ball in front. Grout at third, McGee following him at first. Needing just one more out is Cantalupo. Too far downstairs. Too low, possibly inside. 3-1 now on the count. Stevenson gets on it, brings up Parentoni. Stevenson, shallow center field. It's going to bloop in there. It scores Grout. On his way to third is McGee, and is thrown out. McGee doesn't agree with the call, but it ends the inning with a couple of runs scored for the Miners. We'll go to the bottom half. Big lead for Matsu. Garrett Bauman on the bump for the Miners has pitched to the best ERA in all of the ABL so far this season. Michael Malky maybe trying to chase down Garrett Bauman possibly in that category, but I'm sure he doesn't mind that his teammates leading in it. Seven total appearances. This will be number 8 for Bauman. He's pitched 11 and a third coming into this game. As that is a fly ball on the first offering into left field. Underneath it is Espinosa, who is playing in left field, but Geffrey moves like him in right field, seems like. That best ERA is for pitchers with 10 or more innings worth of work. There's a couple pitchers who haven't given up an earned run quite yet for the Glacier Pilots, but a combined 12 innings worth of work. One has 7, one has 5. Bauman with the .79 ERA in his work so far. Just one walk, 9 Ks for the new Angelo State commit. Two and 1 to Hockemeyer is off and foul to the left side, 2-1. Plenty of really good arms out of this Miners pen. You got Colin Skelly, who's pitched to a 1-2-3, struggled a little bit with his free bags last time up, but any of those runs that he was giving up in that game versus Anchorage were Jack Insuls who loaded the bases. Cade Arn also has pitched to just above a 2 ERA in 17 innings worth of work. Plenty of real good arms out of this pen. Hockemeyer sky high is hooking towards the Chinooks bullpen as Grout is in foul territory and makes the play. Not too many ground balls to Grout in the last week or so, but plenty of pop flies, and he's made all of them. There's 2 outs for Garrett Bauman.
Yeah, he hasn't got his ground ball working, but those pop flies, Carson Grout has definitely seen, like you said, Dylan, quite a lot of them. Made a great play over there in the foul territory.
Swing and a miss on a change of speed. Well in front. The catcher and Anchors. Anchors taking a beating back there for the Chinooks today as that will land out of the zone, 1s apiece. Over to Grout. He will get a ground ball this time. Fires to first cleanly. 2 into the inning. So the announcers jinx to get Grout a ground ball. You're welcome, Carson. We are going to the 7th inning, 8-3 game.
I'm Garrett Bauman. I'm in the transfer portal.
Cole Marthel, Johnny, Sam Houston.
Two minors.
I just heard, had a couple buddies play for Matsu last year, so I heard great things, great competition, so just looking forward to compete.
Yeah, I mean, it sounded pretty cool. Seemed like a fun place to be, and I need somewhere to play to get seen by some schools. So
Probably juggling. I can juggle, so say that's
ride a
pretty useless.
unicycle.
You say ride a unicycle?
Yeah.
That's fire.
Probably go with 7 and the Prestige.
Perfect game in Lion King.
Spots are hot. Spots are hot.
If I pitch bad, I shave.
Greg Parentoni leading things out for the Miners. So far into this game, Parentoni is 2 for 3, batting in the 9th spot before it flips to the top of the order with Elliot Medlock back in the lineup today. Go Eberhard and Geffrey after Medlock in the 1-2-3 after Parentoni takes his hacks. Mentioned he bats in the 9th spot, but a really good hitter to have in the 9th spot, batting over 300 on the year.
Yeah, he's batting .318 right now, Dylan. That was just coming in today. He's 2 for 3 today with an RBI. Those stats just continuing to improve if you're the Sonoma pitcher shortstop.
Plenty of runs scored for the Miners this season, crushing everybody in that total. Ball landing high. And Perantoni will take the walk.
Coming to the plate for the Miners, number 12, the second baseman, Elliot Medlock.
Medlock hitting at the .344 average before he got hurt. You see that real good on base percentage there as well.
And even better slugging, 571. He at one point led the league with 3 homers, 11 RBIs for the Bryant product.
Once led the league in RBIs and stolen bags as well. Might not see him really catch the stolen bags after that hamstring problem, but Perantoni's on at first. Ball inside. Mentioned every single one of these players are just real good throughout the entire lineup. And there for a strike, 2-2 now on the count. 8-3 game in the top of the 7th inning. Chinooks looking to get win number 7 of the season. Danger of losing number 12. Medlock bounces a couple of times. Always high energy with Elliot Medlock.
Oh, never a dull moment with him.
3-2 pitch. Fouled away. We'll see pitch 7.
Like we said, never a dull moment. Him, Fisher Sims, and Evan Bilter flew up to Fairbanks yesterday for the 4th. Got back in this morning.
Three and two again. Fouled away again. Couple of 3-2 pitches spoiled. We'll see pitch 8 now. Despite being out 5 games, Medlock also still leads the team in hit by pitches with 5. Curveball into the umpire, and that will get to pitch 9.
Elliot Medlock, just such a tough out. It makes sense why you, with giving Cole Funkhouse the day off, you move Elliot Medlock into that leadoff spot. He has so many competitive ABs that just runs through pitchers' pitch counts. I mean, in this AB alone, 9 pitches. This will be pitch number 10 for Cantalupo, moving up to 26.
Everard waits on deck. Get his 5th AB of the game. The 3-2 again is inside. That will be a 9-pitch walk from Medlock, and it will bring up Eberhard with a couple on and nobody out.
Coming to the plate for the Miners, number 29.
Eberhard, that 310 with the 372. He's got his OPS still over 800 on the year. Everard's actually tied up with Rich Erickson for 2nd place in total hits this season. Taken to a hitter's count, 2-0. Eberhard's best on the 3-1 and 2-0 counts in the hitters' counts. Looking to climb to more than 14 total RBIs that he's already got on the year. Too low, 3-0. Eberhard does have a 3-run jack this season at this field. Three and 2, Parentoni on the 3-0, waiting on second. And it will be a walk. Medlock ends up at second base, Eberhard at first. And like I said, Parentoni going to third, and it's Carter Geffrey stepping up. Geffrey, couple of homers this season. Had won an exhibition play, but had in just 3 days. Geffrey fouled off to the right side. Into left field it goes and will land in the corner off the State Farm sign, and it could clear the bases. No, Eberhard will stay at third. Is he safely in there? He is. Nearly backpicked him after Eberhard went too far off the bag, and it will be second and third. Geffrey's second double of the game, and it's a 10-3 ball game.
And this will bring up Ridge Erickson. We've talked about leads the team in hits. This is a huge opportunity for him to really almost end this game potentially if he leaves the yard. The run rule is on. Bauman would have to pitch the bottom half of this inning.
Erickson fouled off to the left side. Eberhard waits on third still. Geffrey behind him with that double. A couple of really big hits for Carter on the day. Whole team just mashes straight through the lineup. 16 total hits in this ball game. Most hits of the Miners season so far is 16 hits. They had 16 hits in their 13-3 win over the Glacier Pilots. Back on June 26th, trying to get a new team high today. Erickson's going to foul it off the catcher's foot to a 1-2 count. Erickson, if anybody knows how bad that hurts. Love these couple of RBIs for Erickson, who already on the season had 12 come in here, has one more today. The 1-2 try. Too far outside, twos apiece. Antelupo struggled against these Miners in a situation again with second and third, nobody out, and a dangerous hitter with Ridge Erickson. Doesn't get any easier with Carson Grout up next. And James McGee after that, it's been 3 for 4. Every player for the Miners, 1 through 9, has collected at least one hit today. Erickson looking to collect his second. He will get on base. Erickson's also the only person not to score in the starting lineup. He has no runs scored for this team. Everybody else has scored at least once. And that could do it as Cole's coming out, and they're going back to their pen. Cantalupo coming out, new arm coming in.
16, the third baseman, Carson Grout.
LeBrec, the new pitcher for the Chinooks, he'll face against Carson Grout with the bases juiced. It's a 10-3 game. Erickson would be the run that would score the 10-run mercy rule going to the bottom of the seventh. Got to play the full inning, obviously. So far on this season, pitched to a 6.43 ERA. This is his 7th appearance. LeBrec is trying to make through this 8th inning of his summer as Grout is out to left field. It's hooking towards foul territory. Hockemeyer is going to make the play in foul territory. That'll be enough for a sacrifice as Eberhard will come home. It's 11-3, and James McGee will try to come in and clutch for the Miners yet again today with already 3 hits.
Now batting for the Miners, number 28, the catcher, Joe McGee.
Joe McGee came into this game batting .219. That will raise a ton. After going 3 for 4 so far, it would be even better with the 4 for 5.
Couple ribbies as well for James McGee. Really turned things around so far today.
Watching Erickson over at first. The 2-0 count now. Mentioned everybody's kind of been real good for the Miners today. Everybody but two's got an RBI. Everybody's got a hit. Everybody besides Erickson scored as that's a base hit into left field. It's going to move the runners a 1 bag each. Load up the bases again, and it's Aiden Espinosa's turn now. Espinosa is one of 3 in the starting lineup not to collect an RBI quite yet. One of them is actually Carter Eberhard, who leads this team in RBIs. Elliot Medlock's another, and Aiden Espinosa is the third.
Espinosa has an RBI in the season, a chance to bring home a couple more here.
Still only 1 out. It was the fly out by Grout that was enough for a sacrifice fly into the bullpen of the Chinooks. 17 hits is the most on this season for the Miners, as the 17th hit was just collected by James McGee. One and one in there for a strike. Show you how good this Miners team is so far this year. They've now scored 135 runs this year. The team in 42 games last year for the Miners scored 196. Espinosa into right field. That's going to easily score Geffrey. Everybody moves station to station, and it is a 12-3 game.
And it brings up Lincoln Stevenson, who's really been an RBI machine for this team. 2 RBIs today. All he needs is a sac fly. 3 RBIs today, excuse me.
So now with Espinosa collecting an RBI hit. Just now Medlock and Eberhard without an RBI. Stevenson over to short, the second. Rogue throw over to first off of his back. It's going to score McGee. Erickson already came in, and it is a 14-3 game with Luke Wilson, the pinch hitter, stepping in now.
Yeah, Luke Wilson's going to pinch hit here for Greg Parentoni. I'm assuming Cole Funkhauser's going to come in and play short. That would be my guess.
Who's in the that would probably be
That's
that
what it would
yeah,
have,
it would
to,
have
be.
to be, yeah. Right?
I mean, unless we're giving Luke Wilson reps at shortstop.
Could do it. Could do it.
He's got shortstop speed.
And you know the center fielder's got the arm. Just don't know if he's
Exactly.
got the glove necessary
That's true.
as a shortstop. Oh, 1 count to Luke Wilson, who raised his average up with a couple of pretty good games. Had himself a 4-for-5 game that he was player of the game in. Got to talk to you about the interview, him and his connection with Michael Malky. Wise words that Malky told him it obviously worked in his 4-for-5 game. Spoke about that after in the post game. 1-2 now to the Johnson University kid. Stevenson waits at second. It's a 14-3 game. Too low. Right now, if the Miners go 1, 2, 3 or shut down the bottom half of the 7th, we'd go home early due to the 10-run mercy rule. Downstairs, 3-2 would be the second time the Miners would have the mercy rule.
Be the second time in conference play, third time all season. Run ruled the Chinooks in non-conference play 11-1 to close out non-conference games.
3-2, Wilson fouls it away, going to pitch 7 now.
If Wilson can get on, Fisher Sims is also getting a pinch hit chance here.
Getting some of the boys in. Wilson fouls it away. Now pitch 8 incoming. But I mentioned that run total that the Miners have now 138 runs as Wilson fouls off another pitch. The 196 was in 42 games, more than double what the Miners have played, and they're not too far off of that total.
Just to say that out loud, with the numbers and still how many games are left to play, with the way this team is hitting right now, they could blow that number realistically out of the water.
3-2 over to second, and Lately fields cleanly and ends this inning, but the Miners 6 runs more. It's a 14-3 game. The Chinooks down to their last 3 outs due to mercy. Miners need 3 more outs from Garrett Bauman without 2 runs coming across. He's got a cushion of 1 run. It's a 10-run mercy rule after 7 in this league. Miners have gotten it, as Landon mentioned, twice already. 11-1 over the Chinooks in non-conference play. 13-3 about a week ago against the Glacier Pilots in a really big win. It's one of those games that kept the Miners over the Glacier Pilots at second place, as that ball's hit a ton into left field. Underneath it now is Espinoza and will make the play, but not before it traveled a long ways for the first out. And coming out to the Cookie Monster song right now is Trent Cornell.
What a walk-up song for Trent Cornell, coming out to the Cookie Monster theme song. Baseball's
you really
a beautiful
loved
sport.
when Cole Funkhauser came out to the Star Wars one. I know you loved that one.
Yes, I did. I tried to work a Star Wars reference in, but I wasn't able to do it.
Yeah, luckily for everybody else, the inning ended quicker than you
I
had the
had
opportunity
so many
to do
lined
it.
up too, and I just couldn't get them off. It wasn't the right situation.
1-2 after the high cheese. Good selection by Bauman with the 0-2. Needs 2 more outs. 17 hits for the Miners. That's the most they've gotten in a game this season. Highest previous total was 16 total hits. They had that twice. One and 2. Breaking ball outside. 2's apiece. Breaking pitch is in there, and it is a beautiful strikeout for Garrett Bauman to now have 2 outs in this bottom of the 7th. That basically acts as the bottom of the 9th right now for the Chinooks. Aiden Tauscher, 1-0 count so far from Bauman. Doing terrific on the bump so far. 1-1. Two and one off to the right side. Now 1 strike away. Garrett Bauman looking to finish off the Eagle River Chinooks in 7 innings via mercy. The 2-2. Ground ball over to Funkhauser, and he will not get it cleanly off of the throw, as the vacuum did vacuum it up, just couldn't spit it out quick enough, and it will continue for 1 more batter.
Yeah, the vacuum got jammed there by Cole Funkhauser.
Two outs, the runner at first. Swing and a miss. Beautiful pitch by Bauman, 0-1. Need just 1 more out if you're Bauman. Offering is fouled away to the right side. It's going to be too far away from anybody to make a play. One more strike needed by Bauman. Fouled straight back.
Straight back at us, might I add.
Over our heads, but yeah, in our accuracy-wise at us, yes. Oh, and 2 try for the second time. Trying to close out this game here. 1 and 2. Two strikes again on the try is poked over to Funkhauser. Cleanly will step on the bag, and that will do it. The Miners win this game 14-3 in Chugiak. A real nice win for the Miners, and it is now 8 in a row for the Miners. Thank you again for listening to the Miners broadcast. Landon ended the stream before I could say thank you for listening to our stream. So thank you for listening to the stream, and it is 8 in a row for the Miners. We'll step away from Chugiak, saying thank you one more time, and as always, go Miners.
And have a good night, everybody.